and she's just playing a game. So they're like, they'll be saying, Wumi did it. But deep down in their head, they were just trying to mislead Baba Mohbad so that Baba Mohbad will not investigate, will not do nothing, and he will just keep believing, that Wumi did it, but there is no evidence to show. I'm thinking this is a well coordinated game. My God. So, like we know the case is already in court. So is it advisable that we talk about this case even when it's in court? I don't know yet. We will see. Because I don't want to fall short of any sub judice. I've overcommitted, I don't want to commit any longer. So I'll be very careful to make sure that I don't commit any subjudicial offense. I don't want to be part of any such. Yeah, from where we are already, the game is already played. They said the nurse pleaded guilty, so she accepted, that she injected Mohbad. If that be the case, I don't know whether Spending will plead guilty. If they all plead guilty, the key objective of the coroner inquest is to be uncertain. No. Coroner inquest can never be uncertain. Can never be uncertain. Inquest can never end. A coroner inquest can never be uncertain. Such inquest can never end. Inquest have to continue then. Okay. Whenever there's a conclusion in an inquest, that means the coroners are able to come up with a conclusion, with the conclusion cause of death, which will be used to prepare an interim certificate, an interim death certificate for Mohbad. So the report that the coroners come with will be sent to the NPC, which a death certificate will be officially made for Mohbad. And people keep having, for those of you who don't know what coroners are lawyers. Okay, coroner is under the judicial branch of government. They are lawyers. Now, medical doctors are professionals who have the medical knowledge, anatomical knowledge, to know what is in the body, to know what's up with the body. They have it. But whenever medical doctor fails, medical doctor says inconclusive, right? So now the lawyers who are psychologically trained, criminally trained, they are trying to, through circumstantial evidence, through storytelling, to see the most convincing story which can be used to peg Mohbad, right? So they must come out with something which is most convincing, which is unequivocally stated. And I think the most convincing stuff right now is the confession of the nurse. Coroners are lawyers. Don't forget, every judge will admit confession. That's why there's cross-examination. The nurse was cross-examined in front of the magistrate. The magistrate will check at the cross-examination of this nurse. Was anybody able to prove her wrong? Was anybody able to show that what she said she did, it didn't happen? No. Had there been people called for forensic, that would have guided the magistrate somewhere else. Whatever that ensued from that would have led the magistrate to believe that there is no reasonable cause to say that the nurse killed Mohbad. But right now, I think the magistrate is in the best position if she rules that Mohbad died of a medical reaction. Magistrate, don't forget, they have the power to make such pronouncement. And once they pronounce it, that represents Mohbad's cause of death officially. Don't forget, coroners are not doctors. Coroner can still find result even when medical doctors can't find result. Let's make that clear. Because a lot of people are thinking just because medical doctors cannot find cause of death, it's inconclusive, so coroners too must be conclusive. No, it's not like that. If for the fact that the inquest will be concluded, it means they are able to come out with a convincing. Anything in the court is about convincing. What is convincing, right? It may not really be the case, but what is convincing right there is what they will center their report. For coroner to be inconclusive, it means that in the next 10 years, inquest will continue. They will keep asking people in the street, like, it will be continuous. It will not end. For them to come to a conclusion, it means there's a conviction. They cannot come to a void conclusion. They cannot. They have to be able to tell that, okay, from their observation, this person died of this particular cause, or that, like in the case of Sylvester, the label that he died of medical, reaction. And when it got to the DPP looked into it and ruled it natural, did not find anybody to be culpable for it. In fact, said that if anybody will be held is the father for his negligence, for not taking Sylvester to court at the appropriate, to hospital. All the time the man was using to take Sylvester to church for pastor to pray, or to Babalawo, to one place. He could have taken the guy to a doctor, to a hospital. All right. So that as a delay medical response was part of what aggravated Sylvester case. There was an inquest in that case, and there was a conclusion. But just because an inquest gives conclusion, their own is established cause of death in a lawyer way, in a medical, not medical way, circumstantial storytelling, story. And the best story right now that is convincing in the inquest is the story of the nurse. There is no story right now out of everyone's story that we can say this killed Mohbad. There's no poison, there's no contention, there's no contest. But maybe people there are some certain side talk, like driver said this, I have heard of Mohbad death. Because driver said that he has heard of Mohbad death 11 a.m. That doesn't mean cause of death. Cause of death is somebody admitting that I did this. That one only create ground for investigation. And that's why I told you that I expected some shit to have petitioned everybody in that house and having the statement of this particular witness against that of Wumi, against the nurse, which will be hereby submitted to the inquest to guide the inquest in their conclusion. But if this is not done, the inquest can hereby go forward, and like the most convincing thing before the inquest right now, if this case is given to anybody, if this case is given to me as a magistrate who truly wants justice, when I hear the story of the driver, by myself as a magistrate, I want to call for forensic. I want to get clarity as a magistrate. But if magistrate is not doing that, and no lawyer there is trying to make clarity of that, the magistrate can move ahead with the evidence available already, right? Magistrate may care less about driver saying that 9 a.m. somebody called him. Then what happened? Driver, were you there, Mohbad? I know. What if your phone was having bad battery, was having a wrong time? There are sometimes your time is saying something nonsense, right? So is anybody looking at that area? The pathology said he has the smell of organophosphate chemical on Mohbad body. How can you hear that? Oh my God, I'm beginning to boost. Wow, I'm boosting. Very tired before. Maybe I should be speaking and doing like this. So guys, please, this means not to be disrespectful, but I'm gingering myself. So maybe the story that was voila. So organophosphate chemical was perceived on Mohbad. So for me, again, if I was a son, I would have called for clarity, because for organophosphate chemical to be present there in the morgue is a no-no. Formalin is what is used in environment. Organophosphate is mostly used for poisoning. In fact, one of the strongest poisons are either organophosphate or carbonate, right? Like we read the other time. So this was the testimony of the pathology. For the pathology to be able to say that in the coroner inquest, it has become a CTC. I don't know what is your name, this person. Let me just call your name. Zroy or Croy. Okay, Z Croy. Okay, that's your name, Z Croy. Whatever you testify in front of the magistrate is also an evidence. It become recorded. You understand that? Z Croy. Whether it's in the official report or not, as long as he testified it in court, that can be used as an evidence. So it will be like this. This person confessed before the court or swore under the oath that when he entered the morgue, he perceived organophosphate chemical on Mohbad's body. The man said it. Right? We're not bringing this from the tin air. Now, how did organophosphate, as organophosphate should nowhere come near to human being or to animals. It can't come close to animals or human beings. It can be used for pesticide, insecticide, anything poisonous to human being. And it has very dangerous poison. And one side effect of organophosphate chemical is that when it's used to poison somebody, if it's spread on your food, you die. When you die, you decay. The odor keep coming out as well. It doesn't, you decay with the odor. So how did organophosphate, what purpose, if organophosphate was coming out from Mohbad's body, did the man further investigate why such chemical is coming from a human being's body? I checked it that day. I investigated it. I checked all about organophosphate. I cleared it. Formal DS was supposed to be used. I don't still to today. And Baba Mohbad gangs, they don't care about justice. That's what I'm telling you. I don't see anybody around, but they're not trying to use any evidence. Look at what Bukky Jesse even give to Baba Mohbad about getting a voice. Somebody said that when they came back to that house that night, that there was a fight. What is Sanshit doing with that? Nothing. What did Baba Mohbad instead do with that? Nothing. Right? At least Yomi went far with his own. He shake everywhere. Right? So these guys don't want nothing. They have negotiated. And when I keep talking about this negotiation a long time ago, Baba was part of the game. Fully aware of the game. Okay, so and then so that is for that, and so nobody should have an issue if the magistrate court of Ikorodu that is presiding over this inquest, if they come in their conclusion and read that after several months of their inquiry into Mohbad's death, they are able to come out with the fact that Mohbad was injected by a nurse, and Mohbad reacted to the injection due to the negligence of the nurse, which hereby caused his death. So they hereby ruled that Mohbad died of medical negligence. Nobody should have issues with that. Because when Sanshit was in the magistrate, how was he able to prove? What else can we say can compete with the medical negligence? Nurse confessed she came there 2:30 p.m. If the driver is saying that about 12 p.m. he already heard of Mohbad's death, it means this is contending against the truth of the nurse. So how is anybody making that an issue? Was that issue ever brought as an issue which can make the magistrate? Because magistrate is the coroner is after circumstantial cause of death. Coroner is not going to go to the hospital and be doing tests. No. Coroner, if there was a medical cause of death in the first place, there wouldn't have been coroner inquest. You don't need lawyers to come investigate when doctors already have cause of death. Doctors will only send it they will send to the authorities, to the police authorities. Whenever there is a medical cause of death, there cannot be inquest. Inquest can only come in when there is no clarity in the medical cause of death, when it's inconclusive, and they want to look at every other means. Maybe somebody was found lying on the street, dead, right? And medical doctors, they get in there and they try to do all they could do. They couldn't find what killed the person convincingly. If they can find what killed the person, they will see thumbprints, everything, the person that was strangulation. You don't need to do inquest, right? That was strangulation. So the purpose of inquest is to find cause of death. If the medical doctor is already telling you he died of strangulation, then that has overruled whatever inquest wants to do. I mean, your own choice to find cause of death. Medical is more professional. It's more accurate. He's already saying that this person died of this. Why inquest? You don't need inquest, right? So that will be sent to the authorities to go investigate, to check that street, to border the whole place and do investigation. But when there's confusion in the medical doctors in one profession, then the other profession who is psychologically trained, they come in and they try to use circumstances. They bring everybody in that street, ask them one by one, and they try to see whether they can get anything so close. Maybe the person was walking and he slumped and he fell. Maybe somebody saw him when he slumped and he fell, right? That's going to be the cause of his death, right? They're not going to proceed. They're not going to, because medical doctor cannot find the cause of death, right? So people should also understand that coroners or lawyers can also find cause of death, right? They can never be inconclusive, never. Instead, the inquest will continue till eternity. All right, I don't know, any question about today's court hearing? Is there anything anybody wants to know about? We can dabble into it. I don't have issue with that. Any contribution, any take, Papariano, I welcome everybody once again. Yes. So what's going on, guys?
Yeah, Papariano, yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, like you've said, you're very correct. The coroner process, part of which inquest is one of, cannot come to a conclusive end without the coroner being able to come up with cause of death, Mohbad's death, because this cause of death is going to be stated, is what is going to be stated even in his death certificate that will be issued to the registry. So, upon which, after which, burial can be arranged or can take place. So you're very correct about that. And as I've said again, you see, as it stands now, everything is done, to be honest. I personally, I do not expect any miracle or any other thing that can happen to change the course of things as it stands now. The case is not cleared out. It's been sold out, and it's just unfortunate that that all that has happened, and the you see the primary. Today I was listening to a platform, I can't remember, and I heard the submission of this guy, Vengeance, and there's this other guy, is a crocodile they call him. You see, when you listen to these people that surround Mohbad's dad, you want to think that, are these people are they retarded, or are they is there something fundamentally wrong with them, or is it that they just it is just deliberate for them to act this way? And what I can say at the end of the day is that these people are evil from A to Z, and they're the most clueless people you can ever think of on the surface of earth, because even when an examination is over, these people still don't know that it is over. A game is over, they still don't know. They still think there is still something to be done. The case is still gonna go this way. It's still gonna go to High Court. It's still gonna do this. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what these people are.
Please wait. Let me read this article. Okay, I think this contradicts my initial stance. Like that was my thought. Yeah, I say, can an inquest be inconclusive? It says yes, an inquest can be inconclusive, meaning the coroner or jury is unable to definitely determine the cause or manner of death. This can happen if the cause of death is unknown, even after a series of post-mortem examination, or if there are conflicting or insufficient evidence. Now, under inconclusive postmortem, sometimes a postmortem examination autopsy cannot pinpoint the exact cause of death. This can be due to various factors such as the condition of the body, the unavailability of certain tests, or the complexity of the case. Under insufficient evidence, some cases even with a postmortem, there may not be enough evidence to determine how the person died. This can be because of missing information, contradictory evidence, or the lack of a clear pattern of injury. Now, under undetermined manner of death. If the coroner or jury cannot determine the cause or manner of death, it is often classified as undetermined. This means that now, guys, can you see the game? Could it be that this is the reason why Baba Mohbad lawyer used the word undetermined? The first one used inconclusive. This one came with undetermined. Are they trying to make the coroner to choose one? If you don't like inconclusive, go with undetermined. Which kind of game these people they play like this? Come, they don't they fear baby. They don't they fear baby. It's like my baby no longer show. Now, if the inquest cannot reach a definitive conclusion, it can be considered inconclusive. Okay. So now, in terms of in cases where an inquest is ongoing and the cause of death is not yet established, the coroner may issue an interim certificate of the facts of death to allow for burial or ceremony. Even if an inquest is deemed inconclusive, the investigation may continue if further information or testing becomes available. So yeah, this is the basic information that we are having
now,
right
Papariano,
now. Yes.
You have answered what I want to comment.
Yes.
I was the one that typed inconclusive.
Yeah,
but I wanted to comment.
But wait. Let me really put something before you come. You brush it. Yes. So what I mean, by saying inconclusive is, I was trying to refer to this case. Okay, it was not general. I mean, generally, a coroner can come to inconclusive in what ground? Okay, in the aspect of the fact that if you investigate and you don't see anything convincing, it's inconclusive, right? Even if, let's say, postmortem is inconclusive, they find nothing, and you bring people. Just because you bring people does not necessarily mean somebody must know what killed the person. What if they don't know? So it's still, they can still get undetermined conclusion. What I'm saying, in this particular case, it will be difficult for the coroner to rule inconclusive because there's clearly a nurse accepting. Because if they don't go by the way of the nurse, then they have to show that the nurse is wrong, and they have to punish the nurse for lying, for admitting that she injected Mohbad, she made Mohbad alive. So, but nobody's punishing the nurse for that. Nobody's proving that the nurse made Mohbad dead. So, the only convincing thing to anybody here right now is that the nurse killed Mohbad. Go on.
You see, let's look at this corona thing. A lot of things comes into a corona inquest. Well, because just as you've said earlier, what is the reason for a corona inquest in the first place is because cause of death is not clear. If it was a clear cause of death, no need for corona. Then you don't need corona when you are sure of what killed someone. And if you check out a corona, there are basic questions, key basic questions a coroner must first answer. Number one, who, where, how, what? Those 5 questions must be answered. Now, who died? You must give a name to that person. Where did the person die? You must give an address or a location. What and how are the most difficult answers. And in order to get what and how, you need to come with different method of investigation. Medical investigation, which is postmortem investigation, which comprises both the autopsy and the toxicology, is one part of knowing what and how. Now, another one is police investigation, which can also give input into what and how. Another one is testimony from witnesses. Don't forget, a coroner inquest is not a court, does not give judgment. The mandate of a coroner inquest is to make inquiries, file it, and come with conclusion that will be supported by the law, that will give a legal name. For example, if you say someone dies legally, how do you say someone died? You might say the person had the heart stopped. They will say heart seizure. They will say whatever terminology they will give to it. Or the person was stabbed to death, or the person was poisoned, or the person was shot. So these are the legal names that the coroner will have to give to it, so that it will be an input into the court, because the court want to deal with legal titles in terms of, oh, it was a stoppage of the heart, it was a gun in the head, it was a poison, or someone strangulated the person or stabbed the person. So you basically have to look to the root cause. In some cases, they will say natural cause of death. What are natural cause of death? Your heart stopped beating. Those are natural cause of death, and heart stop beating means the same thing. But most importantly in this case now, there are certain things that have been established. We've been able to see that medical inquisition have been unconcluded. They are not definite. They could not come with one thing that killed the guy, with everything they find out. However, if you look into testimonies and investigation of the police, witnesses, it has also been established that one person has owned up to an action that has been supported by accounts. That is the nurse. The nurse had said, I injected him, he reacted to that injection, and every other thing happened. And the nurse has at no time on this matter said, no, I did not do it. So the nurse have come as to say, with the inquisition from the coroner inquest itself as a sitting, has alluded to the fact that she performed an injection. 2, with the interrogation of the police, she has accepted the fact that she injected the disease. Now, accounts from people around the disease have pointed to the fact that it was after her injection that the disease reacted to it. Hence, this led to him being rushed to the hospital, or some people pouring water on him, which itself is a crime. Some people pouring water on him, which itself is an action of crime because it accelerated the death. Now, but when he got to the hospital finally, as a result of whatever she did, but now even the nurse would have made this case more contestable if she had, as of today, gone to the court and said, no, I am not guilty. It then means further investigation must be done. She needs to come and defend her stand of being not guilty, and it will drag the case. But she has more or less given the assertion of the police, from her testimony to the police, the position of the police to say that she was a root cause by administering medication to him, which he reacted by saying she's guilty. What will the court do if she says she's guilty? It makes the trial to be very short. She has admitted they will only read the circumstances to her, and our lawyer will just plead temper justice with mercy based on the fact that she's the first offender. She did not waste the time of the court. She came, accept her plea and all that, and they will see how they can lessen the duration of the judgment on the discretion of the court. So for me, if the inquest is going to come with a result now, the result they will come with will say the disease died as a result of administration of medication by the nurse, which resulted to him reacting to it, and which led to his death. And he had what did I call it again? his heart
Anaphylactic shock.
and he died.
Anaphylactic shock.
No, yes, or he had a cardiac arrest and all that. That is what the inquest will come in. So, if this inquest will come with a result, they will come out with a result. They only did not get a result through the autopsy and toxicology, but there is a result through witness and police investigation that has come into it, and that is why the nurse will be tried. And someone also asked me today outside the TikTok that was it right for the DPP to start the trial? Was it right? And I said yes, it is. Why? Number one, the police, so far, what the DPP took to the court is as a result of the investigation of the police. The DPP itself have seen that the conclusion from the coroner is going to be with the evidences with them, knowing that the medical examination, what do you call it, autopsy and toxicology, did not come out with anything. So we've ruled that out. But
don't forget that aristocrat. Don't forget that the DPP is represented in the inquest. They are there seeing what is going on.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. So, based on that, and because the DPP is part of the process, the DPP knows what the end result will be. There is no other thing. And this nurse have admitted, based on what the police had presented earlier, it has been collaborated. So the DPP will probably just, let's go ahead. Even when the input of the coroner comes out, they will only add it to the docket. However, if the police, because investigation still continues, even when a case is in the court during trial, police can still see some evidences. If during the trial there are new evidences that can point to some things from the police will seek to bring additional evidences to the court, which the judge will then consider. It will be an ongoing case. But by and large, it is what it is. Today, whatever anybody is saying, the court will rely on evidences available before it. The court, just like in many cases, and even in the recent case, political case of Nigeria 2023 election, where Labour Party, PDP came and said, that is this, that is that. The judge said, if there are things, you are the one that should bring in the evidence to show that this is what you want. You don't come here and tell us you can see it on the news. You can hear it.
Are you technically saying if Baba has any evidence, he should bring it, not wasting our time?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. If there are evidences to prove that the position of the state and that of the police can be countered, they need to come with those evidences. If you don't come with the evidences, the court can only adjudicate on evidences before it. The court cannot just go to Jankara market or Otigba market or Kano market or
wait. Did you just say Botija market? Botija. Wait.
No, Otigba.
Did you say Botija? I heard Botija. You have to apologize. You have to apologize. I heard Botija.
Listen, you know Otigba. Otigba market is in Ikeja where they sell phones. Otigba, Otigba, Otigba market. You don't need to go to Otigba market to go and get evidence. You don't need to go to Jankara. Judge will not go and manufacture market. It is you that have case in the court that will come with evidences that are beyond reasonable doubt that this is your position. But
so let's look at the consequence now.
Nothing we can do.
Let's say, though I'm not sure yet, but I heard that they said the nurse pleaded guilty.
Yeah, that is what I was told today.
That's a very bad position for just Mohbad.
Papariano, before you go into the nurse admission, let me just quickly point out some things. Look, regardless what the situation is today now, one thing is clear. You see, the DPP, they knew from the start what the outcome of the botched coroner, whatever the setup. That being said, you see, this whole case is a botched one, and what I said is simple. It's simple because it became botched because some people allowed it to go that way, and the person that should always be held accountable for that, or responsible for that, will be Baba Mohbad and his whatever.
Baba destroyed justice. Simple. It
Yeah,
destroyed
yeah, and
justice
his
for
team,
Mohbad.
You see, Papariano. You see, the reason why we need, or there was supposed to be a legal representative for Mohbad in maybe in you can say public lawyer or public legal team for Mohbad, was to be able to serve as watchdog on the police who were investigating the matter, so that they will watch them. Any areas that if they saw that there was an area where they didn't touch, they will point their attention. They will point it to them, and if they don't do it, that is where press. That's where press conference. That's where it becomes necessary, and that is where it would have helped this case. They would have come out right there in their office, come outside, address the public, put up a press conference, tell the public this is what happened today, and we told the police that you were supposed to go to. You see, there were so many things that that could have been done to correct this situation or to expose the government and the police, but because Baba Mohbad occupied that very important role that it was not supposed to occupy in the first instance, and thereby.
It was lavishing our money. Our money
Exactly.
It was being used for meaningless things, for things without accountability. Imagine by now we don't even know where toxicology was done. We don't even know where autopsy was done. That of the government was done in Lut. Toxicology was done in NMS America. But that of Mohbad now, that we paid money for over 70 million, where was it done? It means they just wake up and write something in the paper.
Exactly.
This destroyed justice for Mohbad.
No, he's the one, to be honest. He's the one. Because, Papariano, let me tell you something. Papariano. Look, when police said they are investigated, interrogated all the people involved in the case, at that point, the legal team of Baba Mohbad, if they were actually representing Mohbad, they were supposed to ask the police for a copy of the report of the investigation. What can we have a copy of your investigation? They have the right to request to ask for it, and they will be given. So till date, as we're talking now, nobody knows, nobody has seen the report of that investigation. This is not some kind of cultism or whatever. No. So now, let me tell you, Papariano, there was never any investigation, and that is why I'm still saying, and I will continue to say, people think coroner process, when you involve a coroner in a homicide, the job of a coroner is not don't say coroner inquest. No, it is a coroner process. You involve a coroner to come and carry out some a process.
But if we look at the whole bringing of the pathology, there's a mad game that is played here. The lawyer that was given the order to go do autopsy was some shit. He was given the order by the court to go do this autopsy. And then, don't forget, a person was given the order to go do the autopsy and toxicology. It would have been sensible that this same person brings in a pathology who he trusts, who he can defend. They went to give the order to Odumosu, to the other lawyer. Now that lawyer went to bring the pathologist that he trusts. Before the result was read before the court, the lawyer had been sacked. Now you, the initial lawyer who received the order to go do autopsy, you are defending a lawyer, you are defending a medical doctor you never bring. For Sanshit to be defending Baba medical doctor is a no-no for me. He was defending the result of this man in court. That means this man is just doing the service of Joseph Aloba. Because Joseph Aloba knew very well that people were going to drag him. People were going to ask for accountability. They had to make some shit to address that case, to give it life. You know, as if, I don't know who trusts some shit. Only an illiterate who doesn't have their brain can trust some shit. Just because the man came out to say a money is less than, you know, a money is more than 12 million, but less than 20 million. So we should just believe. Are we fool? Where is the evidence? And in fact, Sanshit said, I happen to know. From who? From Baba or from who you are, from Gurexi. I happen to know that the money paid to the lawyer is between 12 and 20 million. You happen to know. But son, we happen to know, but we don't agree. We want evidence. How is it that you agree? You don't? Is it a true son? How can you, son, agree to something without evidence? Son, can you guys be transparent? Can you guys put it on punch? I thought you guys always put everything on punch. Why don't we have it on punch? To see the name of the laboratory and which country that conducted the toxicology. You see, they are trying to deny that toxicology was never free. If it was never free, then tell us where you paid your money, where you did it. Where did you do toxicology? And you paid where? The lawyer that brought the pathology, Odumosu, brought the pathology. He knew the pathology. You guys don't know the pathology. And he has discussed with his pathology. And he said it's free of charge. You guys said you paid. I think you guys should be asking back for your money. Right? You should be saying that I paid this for this. If the lawyer is claiming it's free of charge, then I want back my money. How come everywhere is quiet? Someone is playing the game. You see, I want us to all understand that we were scammed and just stay with that. Right? Than for us to continue to listen to lies that lead nowhere. It is better for us to understand. In fact, Baba Mohbad, come out, tell us that, okay, guys, I spent the money, I built a house, I built my studio. Okay, I have come to the understanding that Mohbad, can't get justice. So I decided to spend the money, and I'm sorry, public. I will forgive him. I will let that slide. Because, one, he has admitted that, Papariano, I scammed you guys, but I'm sorry. I'm a sinner. All right? You guys should forgive me. It will not happen again. Believe me, I swear to Almighty God, I will stop dragging this man. But that you cannot show us common autopsy. Where was autopsy done? I can proudly say right now the government is more transparency. The government is more transparent in this case right now. Because I can tell you where government did their own autopsy and their own toxicology. There is difference between autopsy and toxicology. Don't mix it together. The two of them are two different tests that are supposed to tell us what killed Mohbad. And money was paid for these two tests. How much was paid for autopsy? How much was paid for toxicology? If you pay 10 million for autopsy and 6 million for toxicology, now we are hearing that toxicology is free. Then ask the doctor to give you the receipt and the name of the lab. It's very simple. Why is that not happening? Why? I don't understand. And I don't know. In the beginning, a lot of people were clamoring that San Falana, that because Falana San, Falana is a son. Why were you guys against Falana San? When the family of Falana came to this case and they are son, so are you saying that the son Falana will jeopardize his P degree, everything is worked for, just for Mohbad case. Same way, you guys are telling me, do I think that some shit will jeopardize his career, all he has worked for? Speak, you will learn to understand the hard way. Everybody has a price. When you put Sanshitu, you put Falanasan, the difference is clear. The difference is clear. If you can be against Falanasan and you can scrutinize Falanasan, I don't know why you can't do the same thing to Sanshit. I don't know why you can't do the same. I don't know why you guys can't understand. We cry, we say these things every day. I will break this phone for you guys to understand. Like how white people do. Let me just break this phone. I don't know why you guys don't. But if I break this phone now, I'll just money buy another one. Somebody, I'm angry, I want to break this phone. But will somebody buy me another one? Somebody please say break it. Guys, break or no break, I want to hit this phone on the ground. I want to do like white people. I want verse. I want so that people will hear my voice. Guys, who will buy another one first? Let me first plan who will buy another one. Okay. Guys, should I break it? Someone even put please. Someone even put please. Now I will break it. Someone say please break it. But before I break it, somebody should say I will replace it, I will buy another one. Somebody please be quick, say I will buy another one. Oh, hand the pain me now. Somebody please, who will buy another one? I will hold you responsible. I want to do like white people now. Do like now it's a sports show. You guys are spoiling this show. Don't you know if I break the phone, you say, Papariano got angry. He even broke his phone. He broke his expensive phone. He broke it. That's the best way to pass message. I swear I won't break this phone tonight. So will anybody replace it? I want to break it tonight. I mean it. I want to break this phone. Or I want to tear my cloth. No, the cloth is cheap. Okay, cloth is cheap. Go on.
Yeah. You see, the thing is very clear. Neither Baba Mohbad nor his legal team, nor Muyiwa, nor Gurexi, nor any of them set out to get justice in the first instance. And I'm going to say it again. You see, Baba Mohbad never set out to get justice. Neither did they set out to even get the so-claimed DNA that he's been clamoring for. He wasn't interested in all of these things. What I see is just some kind of cover-up for some organized criminal activities. They knew from day one what they wanted to do. And that was why, because you can see, the reason why he made Muyiwa is a power of attorney. You can see it's no any other reason other than to perpetrate the fraud. He was never speaking for him. This man was coming out to speak for himself. The man was doing everything, and you have relinquished your power of attorney to a man. So the only reason why he gave that man power attorney was to perpetrate that fraud, because that guy will pull off the whole thing for him right there in the US. So that was the only reason. And you see, if you look at the behavior and the activity of this Sanshit that you've been talking about, it is far from anybody who wants to get justice for anybody. The man, when he speaks, is the most clueless. Or sometimes you see people can be deliberately clueless. Maybe he's deliberately clueless because he knew the brief that was given to him right from day one. That look, we are not looking for any justice. All we are looking for is some funds, and we will disguise this to the public in whichever way in whichever form we can. And that is what is playing out now. Look, if Baba Mohbad, I want to even dare him to do that DNA, that so-called DNA, let him push for it. I knew from last year that they would never do that DNA. They would never do it. You see, when Mama Mohbad was talking at some point, she was saying that, do you people think Wumi and Josie would not reconcile? Like, do you people, like, I think it was talking to Yomi and every other person that were, they were trying to scatter their family. So I'm telling you, somewhere, these people are in one accord. Wumi, Baba Mohbad, all of them. And their government, their goal is to not allow Mohbad to get justice. Their goal is justice must not prevail. So their goal is, let's select people we want to punish for the death of Mohbad. And that is why they have done this selection that they have done, that they call in charge. You understand? So these people, they know in their heart of heart, they know. The behavior of these people, you can never fathom it. It is unfathomable. You can't understand it, except if you are insane. That's how you can understand it. But the best way to understand it is to put it in the proper perspective. Don't put cosmetics. Just don't add makeup. Let it be the way it is. These people are criminals. They're criminals. They put off this whole thing. They were never out for justice. And that is why nobody has been speaking for Mohbad ever since Mohbad died. There has been no lawyer speaking for this guy.
You mean Joseph Oluwabami wa Loba Mohbad father is a criminal?
All of them, the criminals. Muyiwa, Joseph, all of them.
Wow.
All of their associates, they're all criminals.
So Joseph Aloba Oluwabami, aka Mohbad father, is a criminal. Wow.
Whoever that is associating with them, they're all criminals.
Wow. How did we get into this?
Papariano,
into this end of this man.
Papariano, if I may comment, and I'm happy aristocrat is up here. For the nurse to plead guilty today, that means they have in collaboration and conviction among these players. No rights lawyer will ask their client to plead guilty unless they have agreed to some things, and it is both unfortunate and fortunate that there will be a closure to this on one side. Unfortunately, that people will still continue to speculate. JF Kennedy died more than 60 years ago, and conspirators who were not even born then are still saying things about his death over 60 years ago. So this will go peacefully for now, but it will still go down in history. And I'm happy about what you read and you corrected yourself, because even after it is said and done, so long as it's not conclusive, someday, somewhere, somebody can bring a scientific experiment that could bring a solution to this, which is what brought about DNA. A lot of people got freed and got sentenced when DNA was invented. But it is fortunate that she has pleaded guilty. But it's unfortunate that an agreement has been reached. So that is what I see to this. I was very surprised when Aristocrat was saying it, that the nurse had plead guilty.
But wait, let's put it to everybody. Guys, has the nurse pleaded guilty into this trial or pre-trial or pre-trial? Everybody in the comments, I want your response, please. Have you guys heard anything about that the nurse pleaded guilty? or she accepted that she injected Mohbad.
Papariano, the first thing when you come to a court, either magistrate or high court, before procedure continue, they will read the charges and they will ask you whether you are guilty or not. The court cannot interfere in any case unless there is a plea. Aristocrats,
you have to take a plea before any case. Thank you very much. That's what I'm saying. There have to be a plea before the case proceeds to trial. But to determine whether there will be trial or not. People are saying something as inconclusive. Oh God. Anyway, the case is just starting. I guess there's not too much information. There's not too much information, but spending everybody, they were all there today in court, Yaba. And I heard the nurse say that he injected Mohbad. So we'll wait to see the following days. We'll wait to see the CTC, to see the following days as it's.
Papariano.
But if in case the nurse pleads guilty, believe me, it's a plan.
Papariano. Papariano. If it is true that the nurse appeared in front of the magistrate on judge today.
Your network, I don't know, your network is breaking.
When you appear, the judge will agree reading. Yeah, I realize that. The procedure, the judge will come up, greet everybody. The clerk will stand up, read the charges. The next thing, after reading the charges,
you mean
he or she will ask,
you mean the registrar?
are you guilty or not? Yeah, the registrar. Yes. They will ask, are you guilty or not? After reading the charges. And that is the first line. Nothing can go on without that. Unless there is a preliminary injunction and whatever before, and who would do that is the defendant's lawyer, and the judge can take that before plead is at before I can entertain that preliminary injunction. Aristocrats, am I making sense? You are a lawyer.
Aristocrat is not a lawyer. You are making sense. He has always said that he's not a lawyer. He has legal knowledge or whatever, just like everybody else. So don't tag him to what he's not, please. Okay, Sakuma. He devotes his time in reading, finding information, but he's not a lawyer. Sakuma, is that okay? Sakuma.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
I always thought he's a lawyer. It's okay.
No. Aristocrat is a lawyer.
But my experience in court, have made me to say this. All my experience in court, the first thing that comes up is reading. After the judge starts, they will read the charge and they will ask the defendant their plea. And sometimes they may ask, do you want to be tried or you want to be taken to high court if it's in a magistrate? But even after that, the next thing is to make a plea.
Wait. You said that the magistrate will decide whether that is you. Are you saying that it is the discretion of the nurse where she wants to be tried?
Yes, if it's in a magistrate.
What if the
it
nurse,
depends on the.
what if the nurse says I want to be tried in the Supreme Court, so she'll be taken there straight?
No, it can either be magistrate or high court.
I don't think so. It should be up to the magistrate.
No, I know so.
Oh.
I've been in court at least. I know so. They will ask. On most charges, they will ask, especially such charges as manslaughter, murder, and the rest of them.
You can never try. No, it's not correct. It's not correct.
It's correct.
Who says it's not
it
correct?
says a defender does not typically decide which court a case is tried in. The court where the case is tried in is usually determined by the jurisdiction and the nature of the crime. The government, specifically the prosecutor, initiates the case and determines which court to take the case to. So it is up to the prosecutor to know where to take his case to. If he takes to the magistrate court, if the magistrate court feels like it's a case beyond his jurisdiction, magistrate court will refer it to the state high court, not the defendant.
No, I beg to explain further. It depends on the case. There are some cases that the judge or the magistrate will say whether they have jurisdiction or not. But there are some cases, I have been through them. I have 3 or 4 experience. They will ask you, where do you want to be tried? In high court or here?
That is not correct.
That is correct.
Give example of the case. Give example of the case.
I am an example.
Okay.
I am an example of.
Mention the case, please.
4 times. 4 times I have been tried at the magistrate, and thank God 4 of them was dismissed. So I'm speaking from experience.
So what case were you asked? So in what case were you asked whether you want to be tried in the state high court and you chose magistrate? Kumastic Kuma.
It was
Kumastic.
Hold on. I can. It's in a versus Commissioner of Police of Lagos.
Who versus Commissioner? 4
times. Me versus Commissioner of Police of Lagos.
So you were asked in Lagos here where you want to be.
Yes.
And you chose magistrate court.
Yeah, in front of you. Yes, because if you choose high court, they will remind you in custody. Then the high court process is longer. You better take that magistrate.
Why would they remind you in custody when you were already on bail? It depends on your condition. Before you went to the court, like were you on
exactly. Exactly. But the magistrate can say, well, since you don't want to be here, but your lawyer can come up and say, okay, after you give him bail, you will now go to the high court. But lawyers will advise you, take your plea here and ask to be tried here, because high court is longer.
I don't understand.
High court is more.
Let's say, for example, now, the nurse has been under the police administrative bail for a very long time, right?
Yes.
So let's say she presents herself before the court. We don't forget she came from home. She came from home to court. So let's say after pleading guilty or pleading not guilty, are you saying that the court will advise them to take away her freedom, which she has already gotten all this while? So her freedom will be taken away.
The court has the jurisdiction to decide whether to continue with the administrative bail or to institute. But let me tell you, if you say you don't want to be tried there, the magistrate will refer you to the high court. And that means you have
that's not correct.
to split the... That is correct. That is correct. Let lawyers come up. Let lawyers come up. I don't want Temu lawyer. Let lawyers come up.
How can you stand in front of a magistrate and be telling her where, one, you are not the one who took yourself to court. Prosecutor took you to court. So you want to be telling the magistrate that, but like you are commanding her that I don't want to be tried here, I want to be tried in another court.
No, you have the right. No, you have the right. And I've been advised, I'm telling you, 3 to 4 times, that take the plea here. Because if you say you want to go to high court, it's a new ball game.
How do you get to high court? Who takes people to high court? Wait, who takes a person to court?
Because you have chosen not to be tried at the magistrate.
I want to ask you a question. Who takes you to court in the first place in a criminal case?
In a criminal case, is the police prosecutors.
So when you were
that
taken
takes you to court.
did they ask you which court you want to be taken to?
No, when you are taken to court, they take you to magistrate. And when you are the magistrate, their prosecutor comes in.
Are you technically saying that you must always be taken to magistrate court in every criminal case?
Most of the time, they will take you to magistrate first.
But it depends on
High court doesn't have.
That's not correct. It depends on the kind of crime. If you commit a murder case, case, nobody will take you to a magistrate court because they don't have jurisdiction over a murder case.
They will take you first. They will take you first for further reminding, or they know you are going to high court.
You were already under remand. You let's say anybody who is charged, or anybody who is like pegged with a murder offense. Okay, let's say for example in the case of Bamishe, the BRT driver who's alleged to have killed Bamishe has been remanded since 3 years ago. Okay, and after that the case was filed straight to the state high court, never in the magistrate court. So why are you bringing magistrate court in a murder case? Magistrate can't even preside over a murder case.
Because the prosecutor, yes, exactly. Because the prosecutor knows the case, and they don't want to waste their time at the.
And that's what I'm saying now. That it depends on the crime.
If it is in the afternoon,
it depends on the crime,
and they don't. Hold on, wait now. Wait. If it's in the afternoon, before 4 o'clock, or after 12 o'clock,
Sakuma.
And the hold on, and the prosecutor. Let me finish, please. And the prosecutor want to remind you longer than the 48 hours that they have. They will take you to a magistrate.
Police up or magistrate.
Evening. Police prosecutor will take you in front of a magistrate to have this thing extended.
Takuma, let me quickly read something. Let me read something for you. All of this long story is not necessary, to be honest.
Please,
no magistrate courts in Nigeria. Magistrate courts in Nigeria do not try murder cases, while they handle many criminal cases, including felony cases.
Jack, what did you say?
Like manslaughter.
What did you say, Jack? Do not try.
No, magistrate courts.
Hold on, Jack.
Magistrate court do not try murder cases. While
you said trial. Trial is different from detention.
Trial
is different from detention.
Once it is a murder case, they have no jurisdiction to do anything about it.
They have jurisdiction to either detain you further.
Any lawyer who goes to or any police prosecutor who goes to a magistrate court to file a murder case is already it's a failure already. So the magistrate is never going to try. He's not even going to do it.
Jack. You are saying, listen to what you are saying. Trial is different from detention. Trial is different. You are not taken to a magistrate to be tried. You are taken to a magistrate to be further detained. Please listen to what you are saying.
First of all, Sakuma, first of all, if you commit a murder, you can never, you're not going to be taken on bail. If it is a murder case you are charged for, you are going to be in prison. They're going to bring you over from prison to high court for your case. You are never going to go to your house. Nobody's going to bail you. If it is a murder, case,
Jack, I pray you listen to yourself. That's all I can say. I'm not arguing any further.
You are not listening.
Is different from
trying to read something arrangement. To you. Papariano is right.
Trial is different from arrangement. Trial is different from arrangement to be detained or to be further detained.
What do you need to take? Why do you need to take suspects who are charged for murder to magistrate first when you can take them to high court straight? To do what? Can you answer that?
We are talking generally now. Hold on. We are talking generally now. You are insisting on murder case. The murder case that have been finalized.
That is what I'm telling you. That magistrate can handle when it comes to felony, when it comes to like manslaughter, but murder is a serious offense that is tried only in high
Jack,
courts.
try. You see, there's a difference in trying and there is a difference in arraignment. You can use either of the court to do arraignment. Arraignment is, do I release this person or do I detain this person? After 24 to 48 hours, police don't have that right anymore. They have to either go to a magistrate or a high court. Most of the time, they go to magistrate. And after the magistrate,
Takuma, what I'm saying to you is this. This is what I know for certain. I'm telling you that if it is serious offense like murder, they can only be arraigned in high court. High courts. Underline it, high courts. That is where you are going to be arraigned. You can't be arraigned at magistrate court for murder. That's what I'm saying. It's simple. Your case was not a murder. If it was a murder, you won't have that option that you're talking about. If it was murder, you're going to be in prison all through the case. Throughout the whole case. They will be bringing you from maximum prison every time for your case.
Hold on.
Till the case is examined.
Is he not charged for murder?
Because the nurse is not charged for murder, she's charged for negligence. That's a small offense.
Thank you.
And why she's been arraigned, they are being arraigned at the magistrate because our offense it does not have weight. It's not weighty. It's not serious.
Murder, Jack, end by saying, murder trial, quote, murder trial are tried in high courts.
Do you know when they say try? Do you know when they say try? Try does not mean trial. Look, you are getting something wrong. When they say murder cases, magistrates do not try. They cannot try murder cases. What they are saying, they are not talking about trial. They mean that they have no jurisdiction. Magistrate has no jurisdiction over a murder to hear a murder case. That's what it means. It means that murder cases can only be heard. The suspect can only be arraigned in high courts. That's what that trial means. It doesn't mean that trial. No.
All right, let me read this information.
I disagree.
Maybe this will be helpful. we can add this to our knowledge. Because I asked, why do most criminal cases start in magistrate court, to see what can be relevant here. Most criminal cases initially appear in magistrate court because these courts have lower jurisdiction and handle less serious offenses compared to the high court, which deals with more complex, that is the high court, which deals with more complex severe crimes. Magistrate courts are often the first stop for all criminal charges, serving as a preliminary hearing and deciding on matters like bail. Now, magistrate courts have jurisdiction over less serious crimes, including minor traffic violations. There is noise on your side, Sakuma. Magistrate courts have jurisdiction over less serious crime, including minor traffic violation, public order offenses, and some assault cases, according to Nigerian and some law. They can also hear more serious cases that may be referred to the High Court for trial. Now, preliminary hearing. Magistrate court conduct initial hearings to determine bail, assess the seriousness of the offense, and potentially decide whether to send the case to a higher court like the High Court. Starting with the
Thank you.
magistrate, there's nothing you said. Now, please wait,
Thank
let's
you.
read everything now. Don't be rushed. Don't cut this, please. Let me take it back again. Magistrate court conduct initial hearing to determine bail, assess the seriousness of the offense, and potentially decide. That is magistrate court deciding. Don't forget, I'm coming to you saying that the individual will decide where she wants to be taken to. I say no, it is a court that decide that. So magistrate court conduct initial hearings to determine bail, assess the seriousness of the offense, and potentially decide whether to send the case to a higher court like the High Court. Starting with magistrate court can help streamline the legal process by initially addressing less serious matters and allowing for efficient case management. The seriousness of the offense is a key factor in determining which court will hear the case. If a case is deemed too serious for the magistrate court, it will be transferred to the High Court for trial. Trials in the High Court, especially on indictment or information, are often more elaborate and involve procedure like proof of evidence, arraignment, and place. So anyway, this is the basic. Now you can address it, Akuma. Or for me, what I understand here is that sometimes most prosecutors take cases to the magistrate court, so the magistrate court will hear the person's position, like, hey, first, do you accept these charges that is brought against you? Do you accept, did you do this or not? So when the magistrate assess the case, they will assess it. And don't forget, let's differentiate between police bail and court bail. When the police is investigating you, if police don't have sufficient evidence that you have committed a particular crime, okay, and they cannot detain you more than 48 hours, and they need more time to investigate you, police can temporarily give you a bail. Okay, they can be investigating. You can go in and be signing. Maybe every week you go and be signing while they are still investigating. But let's say police now have sufficient ground that you committed a crime, and they have now charged you before the magistrate court. So now don't forget, you came from your home. Now you are no longer under the police. Police has done the investigation, has brought you, have deposited you in front of the court. Now it is now up to the court to think like, okay, this person has been brought to us, like unfertile or whatever, like remove all the anchor of everything. This person is now under our jurisdiction, no longer under police jurisdiction. So now, how are we sure? Now they will now reassess. They don't care about whatever bail before. They will now reassess that, okay, how are we sure that now that this person came, and this person, we have read the offense of this person to this person. This person now knows the offense he has committed. How are we sure that this person will come back for trial? So then they will now decide whether they want to remand you, like go and keep it. Now it is the court ordering for you to be kept there pending trial. So they will now decide whether they want to remand you or they want to have you on bail. But I'm wondering, like, maybe this is where you have to come, Mr. Akuma. Let's say in the case whereby I was on police administrative bail, I was taken before the magistrate, and I'm right there in front of the magistrate, right? And my offense were read to me. Let's say the magistrate wants me remanded, okay? And she pronounced for me to be remanded. Are we saying that my lawyer will immediately enter unprepared, will automatically becomes a shorty, and I will not be remanded? Or I will first be remanded and then they will now bail me? Like, since you were in the process in your own case, like me, I've never been arrested, I've never had police case. So the 4 times that you went through this process, Sakuma, like, how did it look
my
like?
experience?
Yeah,
My
tell us some experience,
experience.
bro.
My experience, the prosecutor, my experience, the police investigate, they will hand
Not
you
your network.
their prosecutor. Usually, it doesn't matter from sergeant up. When they hand you to the prosecutor, network is bad. Is it still bad? Is my network still bad?
I can hear you go.
Let me change my network. Maybe.
All right. Change to me. I think I'm in MTN. MTN 2 is very low. I'm going to try Airtel.
Is it better?
Just speak on. I think it's better than speak on.
Okay. When the takes you to they will prepare the charges. Your lawyer will come to you and advise you that the magistrate will ask you, do you want to be tried there or you want to be taken to high court? You take the magistrate because the high court will be tedious. Since your offense are lesser charges, lesser offense. What I am saying is that administratively, even a murder case, will still and can still pass through magistrate.
You're not answering the question.
Is going to try that case.
You're forgetting. Please wait. Don't say many things.
Normally,
please wait.
Murder case.
Oh my God, there's network issue. Please wait. You're not getting my question. My question is this: somebody who was on bail before, he came to the court by himself with his lawyer. He didn't come from prison. There are some people that police refuse to bail. They come on handcuff and they remove their handcuff when they're in the court. I'm not talking about the situation. I'm talking about somebody who came from home straight to the hearing, like how the nurse came today for hearing. Okay, so right there in front of the magistrate, let's say the magistrate decides that she should be remanded. How is it the lawyer that will immediately stand for him or brings a shorty? And why is it that this particular nurse went today and she was not remanded? That's what I was asking. And your own case, as somebody who has went through 4 of those cases, like you were tried 4 times. So how did it look like?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Better. You see,
can you go back to the next?
My charges was.
Can you go back to the previous network? This one is not good. Check the previous network.
Let me try.
Anybody here who has gone to jail before, please come up. We need your experience. If you have ever been arrested, if you have gone to jail, and then you came back, please come up. This is your time. Please send request very quick. This is your time.
Need to be shared.
Yeah, go on. Tell us from your experience, Akuma.
Being charged is when you get convicted. Even some people get still. What I am saying is,
Akuma, forget about what you are saying. I asked a question. That moment you are in front of the magistrate for the first time for hearing,
administrative
she can decide
procedure.
She can decide whether she wants you to be remanded or she wants you to be on bail, court bail. Okay, so let's say she wants you to be remanded right there, and she's gonna list out the conditions of your bail, right? Would the lawyer immediately go into negotiation? How would they provide surety immediately, or the lawyer will stand for you? That's what I'm asking. I don't think you have gone through this. Maybe you're not the right person to ask a question. It's okay. Me, I've never been arrested. Maybe when they arrest me, I'll go understand. I'll understand what's up. Yes. So any other question? Any other question before we continue? Any other question before we continue? Or does anybody still want to answer to that? Any answer to this effect? Any question? Any answer?
Do you remember some few weeks ago, I asked the same question that those guys were not even supposed to be granted. They, I guess somebody said they granted them administrative bail, and it is the capital offense. You remember we discussed it here.
No. Peter, please. I need you to understand something. This is for you, okay? When they say capital offense, you need to understand. You need to understand. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes. I think you are having issue with an offense of killing. Offense of killing is basically in three categories. Killing is not always bad. Okay, depending on what you kill for. Now, some people can plan the killing of somebody, premeditated, right? When that person dies, they have committed murder. They plan the killing. There's intention to kill. Now, in some cases, you don't plan to kill somebody. You came to treat the person, inject the person. The person died out of mistake. It's negligent. It has a different punishment from that. The third kind of killing, somebody came to your house with gun to steal, has killed your dog, is shooting sporadically, and you have your own gun, you shot the person dead. All right? Because you killed the person does not mean it's capital offense. It is the police who understand the law that will look into the crime. When they look into the crime, then they will declare you a suspect of either murder, suspect of negligence, or a suspect of manslaughter. If in case maybe you killed the person, but you have your reason why you killed the person, which you can argue to be self-defense, but police may say, okay, it's manslaughter. Somebody died in your action. In your action, maybe whatever you were doing, when you get to court, you will defend yourself. But you don't slaughter somebody in your action. So now, when you are in a murder, when you are a suspect of murder, it is only the judge in the high court that can grant you bail, not even the police. And it's in the discretion of that judge to grant you bail in Nigeria. But when you are for negligence, a more minor offense, though it's killing, negligence is not capital punishment. It's not death by hanging. These are minor offenses that can lead somebody nothing less than 5 years imprisonment. So it's seen as a minor offense. So police can grant bail in such circumstances. So you are thinking that the nurse committed murder. No. Police did not suspect him of murder. Police suspect her of negligence. When your negligence kills somebody, it is different from murder. Murder means you mean to kill that person. There was a plan or there was intention to kill that person. So I don't know that you can get the difference. It's a two different thing you're talking about.
Papa, it seems you don't get it. In this case, from the very onset, I believe most of us are just talking for making excuse for some things. The police, when they did their report, they highlighted 3 people and they tagged them as suspects.
Suspect of what? Suspect of what offense?
To what happened to
No.
Mohbad.
Don't use the word what happened to. You have to talk about the offense. There are so many offenses about what happened to Mohbad. Somebody picked the phone and called somebody. The person did not murder, but that's an offense because you take your phone and call the nurse. That's a bad practice. You are being punished for that. That doesn't mean you are being punished for killing Mohbad. You didn't kill Mohbad, but you called the killer, or you
Papa,
when you called somebody which was wrong. So you are being punished maybe 6 months
do you also know
imprisonment.
that, Papa? Do you also know that at a point the coroner judge was not aware that these people were bailed? Are you aware of that too?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because in the first place, police are not even meant to give administrative bails to these guys.
You are
From
not
the
understanding. You are not understanding what is capital punishment. Capital punishment is for people who commit treason or murder. Do you know the difference between negligent and murder? Can you Google please so that you guide yourself? Murder, police must show that they have an evidence that this particular person they held has planned to kill Mohbad. Maybe it was called on phone that, okay, oh, you are coming here to commit this crime. Or maybe the nurse, police was able to show that the intention of that nurse when she was injecting Mohbad was to kill Mohbad. But police, after listening to this nurse, police were able to establish that, okay, though Mohbad died in her action, but it was out of mistake, negligence. Police, in the charges, police put negligence. Negligence is not capital punishment in Nigeria. Please, you can Google it. It's not. It means in your action, somebody died in your action. But that does not mean you plan to kill the person. So murder, when we say murder, murder is one type of killing which somebody planned or premeditated or intentionally want to take the life of another person. That word murder is then applicable. But when you cannot show that there was an intention or there was a predetermination to come do it, murder doesn't stand. Now you go to manslaughter, a lesser offense, which is maybe the person died out of mistakes.
Papa, we have got one major problem in Nigeria, and that is why one of the reasons why our prison is being congested. People on awaiting trial. I don't think if you're on awaiting trial, like on a I don't want to use that capital now. Probably that might be confusing.
Negligence.
So police does not have that right to give you advice.
You are mixing two things. Whenever police is investigating, please wait. There's what they call police bail and court bail. Before you are being charged to the court, you are under the police. Now, for police to grant you bail, police will look into your offense. First, do they have an evidence against you? They don't have strong evidence. They may tell you that, okay, they may bail you, give you conditions of bail and bail you. But if they look into the kind of crime that you've committed and they have evidence, let me say, for example, police have watched CCTV camera. They see how somebody intentionally kills somebody else in the camera. Police are meant to detain that person. That person is not healthy to be allowed to go scot-free in the society because he might kill again. So that the lawyer of that person will apply to a state high court because such offenses police have no choice. It is the court that will intervene. So the state high court will look into the petition and see whether they can allow the person to be free pending his trial. So in that case, Papa, it is up to the state high court. But now let's say when you are being charged to the court, you're no longer in the hand of the police. Now the courts too have the right to say, okay, if we leave this person to go, now that we have read his case to him, they brought you on this particular case. If the court feels like they don't believe that you're going to come back to this place, you're going to run away, they're going to ask for you to be remanded. So police can bail for small crimes. So the question me and you should be asking first of all here is that this particular crime we are talking about, for me and you, we view it as murder. Does Nigerian police first see the crime of the nurse as murder or as negligence?
Yes.
To start with.
Yes.
No, police Papa, never call it murder, please. Papa, show me any way they call it murder.
Hold on. Please, they played an intelligent one on that side, and I will explain.
Okay.
The nurse she's not even a nurse in the eye of the law. She's not a nurse. She does not have any right to treat Mohbad from the very onset. She's not meant to owe an injection or to administer an injection or a medication in the eyes of the law. So there's nothing like negligence. There's nothing like on this.
Are you saying for you or for the police? I'm asking you.
By the law.
Are you following this case at all? Are you following this case?
Yes.
What did police charge the nurse? What? No, I know. What was the nurse charged for? Murder or negligence?
Papa.
I don't have issue if you say that police should charge the nurse for murder with evidence that you can show. I don't have issue. But if the police is charging her for negligence, they mean that her action was not meant. She didn't come there to kill Mohbad, but she didn't do proper check up on Mohbad, and she's not qualified to give such prescription. So they see it. She neglected so many things. One, treating Mohbad in a non-medical environment. One, not qualified. So she neglected those things. So it's negligence, and she should be punished for negligence, not murder. Murder is a whole different offense. You have to check what murder is. It's a whole. If police had charged that nurse for murder, nobody can bail her. Nobody, except the state high court.
Exactly. Thank you, Papariano.
Can I quickly just something, Papariano? Look, because I've been in the middle of something I could not talk. Now I want to quickly say something. Look, what you have read, based on what you've read, they're talking about less criminal offenses. Look, this is another question that I've just asked again now. Can a magistrate arraign a suspect in a murder case? The answer is no. A magistrate cannot arraign a murder suspect in a murder case in Nigeria. Magistrates typically handle less serious offenses, criminal offenses. The reason is this, because if it is, let me give you the reason quick. The reason is this: magistrate courts do not have the authority to try cases where death penalty could be imposed. So there is no magistrate court in Nigeria that can arraign any suspect who is being tried for murder, charged for murder. That is what I want everybody to get. And Sakuma, wherever you think that can happen, I don't know, maybe in some kind of other planet, but it's not going to happen in Nigeria. I believe I'm clear about that.
TikTok.
You know what I said. You know what?
Jack, I never said that the magistrate can arraign or try.
You said he's going to arraign it.
That is not what, because you are not, no, that is not what I said.
What did you say?
That is not what I said. Murder charges is exclusively for high court. When
that was what I was saying.
See, that's what I'm telling you. Try, you're talking about that. There can be circumstances that a murder case can be taken in front of a magistrate.
If it is taken to a magistrate will reject it immediately. We refer it to high court. That's what I'm telling you, because it does not have the jurisdiction.
Wait,
they have the authority.
They don't have the they don't have the jurisdiction. They don't have the authority, but they have jurisdiction and authority to remand until it can be arranged at the high court. That is what I'm telling you. That is called evening court in magistrate court.
There's something you're not getting. Look, wait, there's something you're not getting. In a murder case, if anybody who is charged for murder, you are already remanded. You will be in prison. It is from prison that you're going to be arraigned. So it's
but wait, guys, can we hear from an experienced prisoner who has gone to prison before? Somebody, please, can help us, save us here. Has anybody been arrested before or served something like that?
Go and do your research.
Lagata, do you want to help us? Okay, go on, Lagata.
I have not been arrested before, but I have people that have been arrested before.
You have experience, yes. You have experience.
For murder case, right? Yes, I do. Yeah. So what happened was this was our discussion the last time. When the case go to magistrate court, the magistrate court will not transfer the case in London to.
We're talking
Network
about
is bad.
no United States.
Hello.
Talking about London.
In transferring the case, they will further remind the further remind in
sorry, am I
transferring the
bad?
case.
We're talking about Nigeria, not London, not UK.
Okay, I'm not really conversant with UK how it works. How it works in Nigeria, but I'm
Nigeria,
saying from
no,
experience.
not UK.
Okay, all right. I might not be able to help them now.
Nigeria, it will never happen. It will never happen. I stand to be corrected.
I can speak to a lawyer friend here that can probably put a light on. What was the question again, Jack?
The question is this. Not even a question, it's just an affirmative statement that no magistrate can arraign or try a suspect in a murder. The moment it is a murder case, it is a serious offense. Less criminal offenses like felony, like all of these other charges, motoring offenses, motoring offenses, and those. That's where magistrate can come in.
Let me ask someone there 1 minute, 1 second.
Please go ahead.
Samanja, murder case in Nigeria. I want to ask a question here. A murder case in Nigeria, can a magistrate, magistrate court, can they charge a murder case to court? Was that the question, Jack?
The magistrates arraign or try a murder case, a suspect in a murder case.
Can a magistrate arraign a suspect in murder case? Yes.
If the murder has been committed in his jurisdiction, the magistrate can discharge or can sentence the person. He can award the punishment. Yes.
Lagata.
Yeah.
Lagata.
Is that a Temu lawyer? Or is that Amazon lawyer?
Lagata. What I want you to do, Lagata, Google right now. You don't need to ask anybody. Google, can a magistrate arraign a suspect in a murder case? You don't even need to ask
anybody.
to
Google. He's asking a lawyer.
There are so many lawyers. There are so many platforms.
It's not everything that is done by Google.
There are so many lawyers.
Let Lagata ask him.
Jack, I'm with an inspector right now, so I'm asking him if.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Okay, hold on. So you can ask him. Speak to him.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I'm an inspector of police. In Nigeria here, we have penal and criminal courts. We practice two law. Are you with me?
Yeah.
In the eastern region, they call it criminal court. In the northern region, they call it a penal court. Are you getting me right?
Yeah, we will you.
Yeah. So, if the facts or the evidence that gathered that back up the crime committed being a murder case, from the magistrate court, he can award the punishment. So if the other party are not satisfied with the punishment, that's where they will now go to appeal court.
Okay, can I ask a question, please?
Go ahead.
Okay. So what you're saying now is that because in a murder case, what is likely to be the penalty that will be imposed at the end of the day is death, right? Is death, right? So that is the reason.
No. It's not only death. Listen, it's of two options. It's not only death penalty. There's life imprisonment, which is not a death penalty. Penalty can be death by hanging or by firing squad. But there is that life imprisonment. It's also a punishment awarded for murder.
Anyway,
not all murder cases serve a penalty of death. there's life imprisonment.
Okay. Thank you very much. For me, the thing is this: I'm trying to. I have Googled in so many ways, and I haven't seen where, in one place where they say or where it is being said that a magistrate can try suspect in murder cases. I've never seen. So maybe if you can Google and speak from point of knowledge, yeah, like reference, then probably I'll go with you. I have so many things open right here right now. I haven't seen anywhere where they say, and I haven't seen in Nigeria courts. I've been in court several times. I've not seen where a murder case is being tried or a suspect in murder cases is being tried or arraigned by a magistrate because they don't have that jurisdiction. If it is manslaughter, they do have.
I'm telling you this because I'm a practical policeman in Nigeria. That's why. Before that case will get to appeal court or whatsoever, they will start it from even a customary court. They will start it there.
The customary court can try a murder case.
That is what I've told you, that based on the jurisdiction, the area that the crime has been committed, if there's no appeal court or supreme or appeal court in that place, where do you think that?
I'm sorry, brother. I will never.
In the north, I've told you that we practice penal and criminal court. In the north, they take it to Sharia court.
Maybe in north. I don't know about north. I'm talking about what I know, like Lagos, like in Lagos, in places that I know. I've never been to the north, and I don't know what is obtainable there. But I'm telling you, you made it worse to have said that what's it called? What do you call that court again? What do you call it now? What did you call that court now again?
Customary court.
Customary court can try a murder case. Come on, brother. And you wake up, brother. That's so unreal, man.
Jack, please don't argue with a practical policeman, okay?
Who is talking? I should argue. The fact that he's a practicing police officer, does that make him? Is a judge? Does it make him an embodiment of knowledge?
Nigeria is finished.
Look, let me tell you, guys don't understand. There are lawyers in Nigeria that there are sons. I've seen sons there where ordinary law, a graduate from law school, flawed a son. You think because somebody is a son or somebody is a lawyer, that means they know the onion? They know the onion?
Nigeria is finished.
And the fact that somebody is a policeman does not mean that when they tell me something, I won't use my head.
Lagata. Are you the Lagata?
So he's wrong, to be honest. He's wrong. He's completely wrong.
That was what I said. Don't argue with a practical policeman, please. Let's just move on.
Look, if we argue, what happens now? What happens?
I'm coming. Wait. Are these the kind of people Lagata listen to?
Because the guy is just funny.
Even the customary court can try murder.
He's comical. He's comical right now. He's comical, to be honest.
No, please, we know disrespect to him. Please, we don't disrespect.
No disrespect. Comical means it's funny.
Are you a lawyer?
Comical means funny, man.
Jack, are you a lawyer?
Look, I don't even have to be a lawyer. It's just common sense. Like, it's just knowledge. You can read.
Wait.
Have you been in court of law?
It's not about common sense.
I used to sleep in court.
Have you been in court of law before?
I have been in court like most part of my life, to be honest. So when I'm talking, I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer.
All right.
You can't come here and be telling us nonsense. We know already.
Kuma, we get a court for our backyard. What question do you want to ask in the court?
Jack, why are you stressing yourself? Somebody has just called himself a practical police officer and he kept stressing it.
And again, one thing I think he's not getting as well, the man, is this. The way we say it is this. In the north, they have penal code.
in the south, we don't say east. In the south, we have criminal code. So in the northern Nigeria, by their penal code, nobody can bail a suspect of murder offense. You cannot.
Exactly.
The person has to be detained by the police throughout trial. Why in criminal under the criminal code here in south, when I say south, it covers east everywhere, west everywhere, just like northern protectorate and southern protectorate. So here in the south, because this law has been there even before Nigeria became Nigeria. So, I mean, even before 1999 Constitution, this law has been there. That's why they cite so many different laws that has been there in different administration, different government. So it is only the state high court that has a discretion of giving a person a bail here in the south. That is one. And then another thing he said again, no customary court can trial a criminal case, no matter how small that criminal case is. It's going to be taken to the magistrate court or the state high court. Those are the places where case like that can be tried. Then what else did he say again? He said magistrate court can try a murder case. That cannot happen. I wanted to tell him to name me any magistrate court, any murder case that has ever been tried in the magistrate court. It can never. In Nigeria, there have been so many murder cases in Nigeria. You will never see any of them tried in the magistrate court. If you can provide any of them, I will be happy. If anybody can provide me a magistrate court, though I still believe that anything can happen in Nigeria. I don't doubt it, but I would love to see. But the Nigerian law, it says magistrate court cannot try a case whose offense can land someone more than 5 years imprisonment. So how did that just start happening? I can't doubt because it's Nigeria. Maybe in the north, it happened like that. They just bring somebody, and magistrate court will just sentence them to death by hanging or whatever. But one thing the guy is correct about, which I want to appreciate, the man is correct when he said that not all murder cases deserves death by hanging or life imprisonment. No, there are some other cases that there are some other conditions that are just very reasonable for the judge, and they may give the person 20 years imprisonment, 15 years, 30 years, but not life imprisonment. So it varies. So on that, I think I agree, I concur with him.
Papariano, you're very right. He's very correct on that. And that was why I said that the reason why magistrate courts do not have the authority to try cases, murder cases, where is because the penalty could be death. We're not saying that, underline it could. It could be life imprisonment, it could be whatever, but it could be death. So if it is death or if it is life imprisonment, it still does not have the jurisdiction to try it.
Exactly. So that is it. Yeah, any question? Comment sections, any questions? I think we have gotten some informations about criminal litigations, how they are done, and I don't know. Is there anything anybody wants to add, subtract, or ask questions about this that we have just touched right now? Any question? Any beautiful question? You guys should answer or let me know. No question.
Today I was in Oshodi. And I was very busy with. I had to go and buy goods, replace, goods and all of those things. There are customers this time, and it's very busy.